Shalom, 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 Israel. What's popping with y'all? I'm going to give it a few seconds before I start class, all right? Just a little bit, just a little bit. All right. Do me a favor, y'all. How y'all feeling today? Share, like and share this class. This class is pivotal to breaking the chains off of our people. This class is pivotal on, you know what I'm saying, breaking the Christianity off our people. That's our number one problem. Christianity is what keeps us down as a nation. But I'm about to start class right now, all right? Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbarakatah to all my brothers, Yahweh Shamar Elatah Bahashim, Yahweh Shah to all my sisters. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And what we do is we teach the Black, Hispanic, and Native people that they are God's true and only chosen people. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. And with that comes a set of responsibilities. With being God's chosen people comes with a set of laws. And those laws and that responsibility dictates us to love and take care of each other. You know what I'm saying? As long as we loving and taking care of each other as the scriptures dictate, we will be all good. But unfortunately, you can see in the world today that we do not take care of each other. We do not look out for each other. Hopefully today's class can remedy some of that. You know what I'm saying? But we are here to show you who you are according to the scriptures. And if you have any questions, type them on in. We are taking on all questions. If you have any questions, just type them on in, all right? Give y'all a sec to get ready. We're going to start off with 1 Samuel 11 and 13. We're going to be bouncing around. I'm just going to give you a bunch of scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Proving that salvation is of the Jew. Salvation is of Israel. Christ only came to save us. You know why? Think about it. Think about it. Why does Christ need to come save us? I want you to think about it for a sec. Understand it for a sec. Ask yourself, why does Christ need to come save us? Ask yourself that in many different ways. Why is Christ coming to save us? Why do we need to be saved? What is salvation? So forth and so on. Ask yourself these questions. Because according to Christianity, Christ is coming to save the whole world. The whole world needs to be saved. Ask yourself, ask a Christian this. What does the world need to be saved from? They most likely say sin. They'll most likely say sin. But it's not. Sin is not it. And oh yeah, and if you have any questions, you know what I'm saying? If you have any questions, type them on in. You know, that's what a Christian would say. A Christian would say the world needs to be saved from sin. Well, let's go to Psalms 147. All right. Let's go to Psalms 147. I believe it's 19 where I want to start off at. Let me type it in the chat so y'all can see it. All right. If you're there, read along. Oh, yeah, I ain't even posted. Hold on. Psalms 147, verse 19 and 20. If you're there, you're there. Because the Christian church would like to tell you that the world needs to be saved from sin. And that's what salvation is. I disagree. I disagree. You know what I'm saying? You can't be saved from sin if you're not even capable of sinning. Caucasians are not capable of sinning. Asians are not capable of sinning. You know what I'm saying? Africans are not capable of sinning. I know this is a shock to most of y'all, but like, what you talking about? What you mean they ain't capable of sinning? See, the problem is the world took Israelite records, the world took our records, our lifestyle, our culture, our customs, and placed it onto themselves while they stripped it from us. You know what I'm saying? They placed it onto ourselves, they stripped it from us, and I'm about to show you how the law was not for everybody. The law is only for a certain group of people. So let's read. Psalms chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob. What is God's word? What is God's word? God's word is his laws, his commandments, his judgments, the scriptures altogether. That is his word. And he showed them unto who? He showed them unto Jacob, not unto everybody. He showed them unto Jacob. You know what I'm saying? Let's read it again. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He shows his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. So we got those law, statutes, commandments. Quick question. What is a sin? See, we have a few people in class today. I want you to type in, what exactly is a sin according to the scriptures? A transgression. A transgression of what? A transgression of what? So sin is a transgression of the law. That's what this woman here said. This woman, Jamie Lynn, she said transgression of the law is what a sin is, right? So if sin is a transgression of the law and everybody did not get the law isn't for everybody. So how can they transgress it? Put it like this. If you had a son, or let's serious, you got a child, right? And your child is running the street with his friends after you done told him he got to be in the house to do his homework right after school. You told him, be in the house right after school and do your homework. Then you can go outside and play. That's what you told your child. That is your law and your commandment and your statute. Come in the house, do your homework, then you can go outside and play. Your child does not do that. He decides to go outside with his friends right after school. He does not come home for about 2-3 hours after school. All right. Now your child walks in. It's about 6 o'clock. Your child walks in, right? What do you tell your child? Do you say you and your friends are going to get disciplined, or just your friend? Who's getting on punishment? No, this is a question for the people. You told your child to come in right after school to do his homework. That's the rule you gave your child. After school, come straight home, do your homework, then you can go outside and play. But your child doesn't do it. So, who gets punished? What do you tell your child at that point? You can type it in the chat. It's a simple question. I mean, if you're not a parent, I understand. If you don't understand what parenting is, I understand. But let me tell you something. Your child broke your rule. Your child comes in, your child does not listen, doesn't pay attention to the rule that you laid down. You will punish your child. Would you punish those friends who you did not give the law to? Would you punish the friends with them? Would you punish his best friend who convinced him to come out and play? Would you punish him? Would you put him on punishment? Would you give him a beating? Would you, you know what I'm saying? Would you do any punishment unto the friend that convinced your child to stay up? No, you wouldn't. You know why you wouldn't? Because you did not give that law to that friend. You did not give that commandment to that friend. And that's what Psalms 147 is talking about. That's what Psalms 147 is all about. Psalms 147:19 just literally said the law was given unto Israel. But let's continue. He have not dealt so with any nation. Verse 20 said he has not done that with any other nation, period. No other nation has gotten these laws, statutes, and commandments. So no other nation is held by them. No other nation is judged by them. Hold on. I said judged. Hold on. Let's bring it back. He have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgment, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. Look, these other nations got nothing to be saved from. Christian church would like to tell you the other nations need to be saved from sin. But you can't sin if the law was never given to you. You can't sin. So praise ye the Lord that you're not going to be saved from sin. Only one nation needs to be saved from sin, and that is Israel, because only Israel got the law, statutes, and commandments. Only Israel could break the laws of God. No other nation could break the laws of God. What other nation could do so? What other nation could break God's laws? I mean, when they do things that are against God's laws, we look down upon them. They are filthy, disgusting animals and savages, because that's what they are. That is exactly what they are. If they don't live by our laws, statutes, and commandments, They are disgusting animals. We treat them like animals. You know what I'm saying? But that does not mean that they need to be saved from the law, because the law was not given to them at all. So I'm going to read that from the top of 19 again. Hopefully y'all can catch it clearly. You know what I'm saying? Psalms chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. Only Israel got those law, statutes, and commandments. Only Israel has to follow them. How can you follow something that you never gotten? That's why our enemy is such savages right now. You know what I'm saying? That's why they are such beasts and such criminals, because these laws was not given to them. So what they are doing is naturally in them. Them raping, stealing, murdering, eating all types of abominations. This is their culture. This is what they do. That's why when Black, Hispanic, and Natives do the same thing they do, we are punished. For example, who eats pork? In the world today, who eats pork? Who eats pork? Let me tell you who eats pork today. Count out of one count, sir. Let me tell you who eats pork today. Everybody. Every nation under the sun eats pork today. Every single body. But who is getting punished for eating pork today? Black, Hispanic, and Natives. We are the ones dying of high blood pressure at a phenomenal rate. We are the ones dying of all types of food diseases, gout. You know what I'm saying? We the ones dying from this stuff more than any other race, even though other races may actually eat more pork than us. Other races may eat more pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, but we are suffering from the diseases that come from it more than any other people. No other nation has a wave of people who are consciously eating stuff but Black, Hispanic, and Natives. And yet we are still dying of it. You know why? Because what we eat is culturally in us. What every other nation eats is what every other nation eat is more of a survival tactic or what their belly wants to fill. You know what I'm saying? It's not cultural. They just eat it because it's there. Asia eats rats because it's there. You know what I'm saying? We have rats all through our neighborhood. Who in the Black, Hispanic neighborhood is hunting down rats? Who? None of us. Especially up north. Down south may be a different story. Down south, they may eat raccoon. They may eat possum. They may eat all these things. You know why? Because of the indoctrination of our oppressor that was put upon them. They forgot the laws of the Lord. They forgot what the Lord has given unto us. And they took on the law and the customs and the culture of our oppressor, which is to eat any and everything that you see fit. If you're able to kill it, eat it. So they will eat a raccoon with no hesitation. And a raccoon is unlawful, just like pork is unlawful, just like crab is unlawful, just like shrimp is unlawful. And that's why we get punished for it, because of Psalms 147, 19 and 20. Nobody else needs salvation from Levitical law other than Black, Hispanic, and Native. Let me tell you something. Muslims eat pork. Muslim will straight up tell you in their hadiths and in their Quran that if you are hungry, eat pork. If that's all that's provided to you as a pig, eat it. To be honest, I've never been to Israel, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bacon BOT served somewhere in Israel. I mean, they're having gay parades. They're having LGBTQ parades. So I wouldn't be surprised if they are having BOTs served somewhere in Israel. Because those are not God's chosen people. Only people that could sin is Black, Hispanic, and Native people. Nobody else could sin other than Black, Hispanic, and Native people. And that was proven in Psalms 147, verse 19 and 20. You know what I'm saying? So let me read it from the top and I will finish it off again. You know what I'm saying? Psalms chapter 147, verse 19. He shows his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and that for his judgment they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. No other nation has gotten the laws of God. That's why no other nation suffered from breaking his laws like Black, Hispanic, and Natives do. Jewish people eat pork. I've seen it with my own eyes. I seen them go into McDonald's, ask for a quarter pounder with bacon on it because they're not Hasidic or they have a bunch of excuses around it. But they do not suffer from breaking God's laws like we do. They're not getting the gout, the high blood pressure, the diabetes, you know what I'm saying? AIDS, syphilis, you know what I'm saying? They're not getting all these diseases like we are. What the saying go? What makes a, I forgot. What makes a white man cough makes a Black person, you know, worse. Like whatever makes them sick makes us sicker. There's a saying that goes behind that. Can't quite remember. But there's literally a saying that goes behind that. Because the law, statutes, and commandments is not for them. But let's go to 1 Samuel. Let's go to 1 Samuel 11 and 13. Let's go to 1 Samuel 11 and 13. Give y'all a couple of seconds to get there. 1 Samuel chapter 11, verse 13. And Saul said, there shall not a man be put to death this day, for today the Lord hath wrought salvation in Israel. Salvation is only for Israel. If you go back and hold on, let me put it up there. Go back and read 1 Samuel's. King Saul was going at it. Even King Saul was able to recognize what was being done. You know what I'm saying? King Saul was recognizing that Israel was being saved because of the things that they were doing. This is before him and you know what I'm saying, King David got into a beef. This is way before then. You know what I'm saying? or not way before, but you know what I'm saying? This is a separate issue. And he's recognizing how Israel was saved, because the simple fact is salvation is only for us. Israel was breaking the law. He's seen the Lord's wrath upon Israel. And we were saved. As a matter of fact, what is salvation? Ask yourself, what are people being saved from when salvation hits? What exactly is salvation? What is salvation? Ask yourself that. Reconcile. Yeah. Yeah, you can't say reconcile. You can say reconcile. Hold on, what I don't want to say. He said exactly the Israelites are God's chosen people. We were given the rules of our father's house. Therefore, we can only be the ones to break our father's rules. Damn right, sir. Damn right. We're the only ones that's able to break them. You said set apart? No, that's not what salvation is. Put it like this. What Adawan was saying right now was right. But it wasn't said straightforward. But for the sake of time, let me tell you something. Salvation is being saved from what? It is being saved from God's wrath. That's what salvation is. You are being saved from God's wrath. Why are you being saved from God's wrath? Why did we need prophets to mediate that? Why did we need Christ to mediate that? You're being saved from God's wrath because you are breaking God's laws. And since the laws were only given to Israelites, salvation is only for Israel. This can't be disputed at all. This cannot be disputed at all. Not 1 second of it can be disputed. But let's go to Psalms 14 and 7. It's crazy how that sounds like 147. But no, Psalms 14 and 7. Psalms 14 and 7. If you're there, read along with me. Psalms chapter 14, verse 7. Oh, that the salvation of Israel. Hold on. The salvation of who? Oh, that the salvation of Israel will come out of Zion. Who came out of Zion? Who came out of Zion? The salvation of Israel comes out of Zion. Who came out of Zion? Let's continue. When the Lord bringeth back the captivity of his people. What are we in right now, Black, Hispanic, Native? What are we in? We are in captivity. Hold on. Are Asians in captivity? Are Asians in captivity? We are in captivity because we broke the Lord's law. That's why we need salvation, so we get out of this captivity. Only way to do that is by going back to his law. So question is, are Asians in captivity? How about Africans? Are Africans in captivity? How about East Indians? Are East Indians in captivity? I'm looking for answers. You know what I'm saying? I see there's a few people in class. Type in yes or no. I'm not going to post your answers. Just type it in. Type in your yeses, type in your no's. Who's in captivity? Count out of one count. More fire for the heathens. Who's in captivity? Who's in captivity today? I mean, if you want to ignore the question, I understand, but it's pretty obvious. What nation of people do not have their own military? What nation of people don't have their own land? What nation of people don't have their own government? What nation of people don't have their own language? We are speaking the language of our captors. What nation of people is this? What nation of people don't have their own celebrations, their own laws, their own commandments? What nation of people is this? Let me tell you what nation of people it is. Black, Hispanic, and natives, we don't have our own names. We are living the names of Englishmen, Frenchmen, Spaniards, Portuguese. We don't have our own names. We don't have freedom. We don't have our own nation, period. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back to Psalm 14:7. Let's read that from the top again. Oh, that the salvation of Israel will come out of Zion when the Lord bringeth back the captivity of his people. Our captivity is here. We are captives in this world today. We are not free men. No matter how much you're making at your job, no matter how much you're walking around, no matter how much you're doing this, no matter how much you're doing that, no matter how many females you got, no matter how much money you got in your pocket, you are not free. There's been rich slaves since the beginning of time. The amount of money that's in your pocket does not determine if you're free or not. A lot of slaves were compensated for the work they did. You know why? Because the work they did was not of their own fruition. It was of their master's bidding. That's what it was. It was of their master's bidding. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad. When we are free, when we are out of this captivity, when Christ cracked those skies, there's only going to be one nation that's actually glad. Could it get any worse for us? Could it get any worse for Black, Hispanic, and natives than what it is today? Think about it. I want you to think about it. I mean, it's so bad that a black woman, Carly Russell, just for the sake of attention, not saying that what she's saying is a lie, but if it is a lie, just for the sake of attention, she perpetrated one of the most heinous crimes that is being done to Black people, which is sex trafficking, kidnapping, abduction. You know what I'm saying? That is being done to us at a rapid rate. And if she is lying, that means she is perpetrating that. We need to be saved from things like that. What exactly is our oppressor being saved from? What is Caucasians being saved from? They rule the world. You think they want to be saved from that? They are running this planet. that they want to be saved from that, they will fight tooth and nail to make sure they maintain their power. If Christ cracked the skies right now, there's going to be 100 F-16s in the air. They all get destroyed, though. But if our oppressor understood that salvation is not for them, so they will fight the salvation for our people. They will fight it tooth and nail. The water, sir. The water. They will fight it tooth and nail to make sure that we are not saved. Because our enslavement, our oppression, that's their salvation. That's their kingdom. That's what they need for their rulership. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. But let me tell you something. World War III is around the corner. World War III is right around the corner, man. And that's when they start losing grip of things. But let's go to Isaiah 45 and 17. Let me type that in the chat real quick. Type that right in the chat real quick. And let me get there with you. All right. If you're there, be patient. I'm getting there with you. All right, I'm there. Hold on. Should I start a little higher? Hold on. Nah. Let's start with 17. Everything else, it gets into deeper, but not too deeper. Psalms, chapter 45. Psalms. Isaiah 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord. Who shall be saved? This is some more scripture right here. Let me read that from the top for you again. Isaiah 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Look, this salvation was everlasting. It was supposed to be for Israel only from the beginning. Nothing changed. Israel shall be with an everlasting salvation. Period. It's not for everybody. It's for Israel. We get that everlasting salvation because our enemy technically don't even need salvation. What, Asians need salvation from selling Black, Hispanic, and Native people all the chicken in the world? The chicken that sends their kids to the highest colleges, the most prestigious colleges, they need saving from that. They need saving from that. Right? They need saving from when you know what I'm saying, when Black people are all up in their business, making their business prosper. That's what Caucasians need saving from. Caucasians need saving from stealing our inventions and our patents. That's what Caucasians need saving from. What do Caucasians need saving from? Oh, just answer that question. What do Caucasians need saving from? What sin are they committing? What sin is a Caucasian committing? What sin is a Caucasian committing? I need understanding. What sin is a Caucasian committing? I understand you want to talk about the animals, but animals can't sin. So animals, they weren't saved during Noah's time due to sin. They were saved, to benefit those 8 people that was on that ship. That's why the animals were saved. Because they were a benefit for the 8 people that was on that ship that the Lord had mercy on. And none of those 8 people were Israelites. But you're talking about a time way before Israel mattered, way before Israel existed, or even before Israel was thought of. You're talking about Noah. Now answer the question. What sin have Caucasians committed? What sin do they need to be saved from? Remember, for it to be a sin, they have to be given the law. God flooded the earth not because of all sin. He flooded the earth because of a certain sin. When the sons of God decided to have relationships with the son of men. What does that mean? That means when God's chosen people at that time, which was the nation that Noah was a part of, decided to have interracial relationships. Now, what sin is Caucasians committing? Because if you're saying all sins, then you must prove that they were given the law. When were they given the law? With Nephilims. Nephilims are humans. They're not angels. They're humans. Look, I understand you don't know the Bible. So I'm going to pass on from you. Because you're just throwing out a bunch of things that doesn't even make sense and not even on the subject. Half-breeds, yes. Because interracial marriages do bring that about. But Nephilims are still humans. But let's get back into it. Let's start that from the top again. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. So when you think about John 3:16, it talks about that world in John 3:16. Well, that's the world that it's talking about. The world in John 3:16 is the same world in Isaiah 45 and 17. That world in Isaiah 45 and 17 is the world of Israel. You got to remember the word world means societies. It doesn't mean everybody. It means societies. It doesn't always mean planet. It means societies. In the society of Israel, let's read that again. Let's read that again. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. That's the world that Christ is coming for. That's the world in John 3:16. And we shouldn't be ashamed. I know we broke God's laws. We did all this. We did all that. But there's still a chance for us. We still got something to fight for. We just got to come together and start following Christ's laws like he dictates. You know what I'm saying? Like he dictates. Christ shows us how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back into Psalms. Let's go to Psalms 53. Now, matter of fact, drop that. Let's go to Hebrews 9 and 15. I said 9 and 16. I mean 9 and 15. Bear with me as I get there with you. Now we're in the New Testament. We're in the New Testament, y'all. This is the Christian stomping ground. This is where Christians just hold true to what they say. At least that's what they say. But what does it say in Hebrews 9 and 15? Let's read. Hold on. Should I start before? Nah, let's start with 15. Hebrews chapter 9, verse 15. And for this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament. Who is the mediator of the New Testament? I'm asking you all that. Who is the mediator of the New Testament? Who is this speaking of? Who's the mediator of the New Testament? Type it on in. Right. Christ. Christ is the mediator, right? And for this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament. Christ is the mediator of the New Testament. That by means of death, by his death, by Christ's death, right? For the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament. All right. Who was under the first testament? Christ's death was for those who was under the first testament. Who was under the first testament? Who was underneath that covenant at the beginning of time? That was passed down from generation to generation to generation. Who was it? I understand. If you're too scared to answer, I understand. But Israel was part of that first covenant, that first testament, that Old Testament. You know what I'm saying? And by Christ's death, for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament. What was those transgressions that was under the first testament? What were they transgressing? Go back to Psalms 147. They were transgressing the law because the law was only given to Israel. Israel was the only ones under that first testament. So Christ's death was to redeem those that were under that first testament. It wasn't to redeem everybody because not everybody was under that first testament. It wasn't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? They which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. Like eternal inheritance for those who is called for. Not even every Israelite gets that. But only Israelites get that. Only Israelites are being called upon because only us got the word, statutes, and commandments to begin with. Only us transgressed that law. Christ only died for those who transgressed that law in that Old Testament. Sounds clear to me. Sounds about as clear as it gets to me. So who did Christ die for? Who did Christ die for? I understand. You want to be shy about it. You don't want to talk about it. You want to be quiet about it. Understand. But let's go to Psalm 53. Let's go back to the Old Testament. Psalm chapter 53, verse 6. Hold on, I might want to start ahead. Nah, it goes to another subject. It's good for this subject, but it goes. Psalms 53, verse 6. Oh, that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion, when God bringeth back the captivity of his people. Jacob shall rejoice and Israel shall be glad. That sounds just like what I read earlier in Psalms. It sounds like the same thing over and over again. The scripture keeps on repeating itself over and over again. But Christians' ears are closed to it because they don't want to believe it, because our oppressor got the majority of Black, Hispanic, and Native believing that they are Gentiles when they are not. So we will fight for Gentiles to the death of us because we believe we are Gentiles. But we're not Gentiles. So Black, Hispanic, and Natives, listen to me when I tell you this. You don't have to fight for Gentiles. That's their fight. You are an Israelite. You are God's chosen people. And salvation is for you. So stop fighting for them and start fighting for your own. Matter of fact, let me narrow it down a bit. Start fighting for yourself. What do I mean by fighting for yourself? Start following these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. Start following the ways that the Most High has given us to live. That's what you should be following. You know what I'm saying? But let's drop that. Let's get hold on one second. Hold on one second. No, I'm good there. Let's go to I might want to go to some more New Testament. Let's do some New Testament real quick. Luke 1 and 69. Let's go to Luke 1 and 69. Oops, I'm not even typing nothing. Hold on. Let's go to Luke 1 and 69. Let me get there with you. Because Christians, they believe in the New Testament. So if you want to cut a Christian, if you want to subdue a Christian, you got to stay in the realms of what they believe in. And even the New Testament would tell you salvation is of Israel. But let's get with it. Let's start with 68, a matter of fact. All right. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people. Hold on, let me start that again. Luke chapter 1, verse 68. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel. Of who? Of Israel. Even the New Testament said God is the God of Israel. He's the God of Israel. Is he the God of Greeks? Is he the God of Romans? Is he the God of, Phoenicians? Is he the God of Canaanites or Moabites? No, he is the God of Israel. So blessed be the God of Israel. Straight out the New Testament. Straight out the New Testament. It is the God of Israel. Let's continue. For he hath visited and redeemed his people. Who? His people. Who are his people? It said it early in this verse. Who is his people? His people is Israel. The people of Israel. And against popular Christian belief, the people of Israel is not a spiritual thing. No, that is a straight up and down bloodline. That is a lineage. That is something that's passed down from generation to generation to generation. You cannot convert into being an Israelite. You are Israelite by birth, by blood, not by conversion, like our enemy, the Ishis, are up in Israel. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. And hath raised up an horn of salvation for us. What's that horn of salvation? In fact, what does a horn do? A horn makes a mighty sound. A horn makes a loud noise. A horn is a warning. A horn is something that should be heard worldwide amongst our people. Everybody in the nation should recognize this horn. You know what I'm saying? This horn is a warning. It is a sound that we all should hear. You know what I'm saying? And who is that horn of salvation? Who is that warning of salvation? That warning of salvation is Christ. That sound of salvation is Christ. He's letting us know that we got to come back to these law, statutes, and commandments. I know a lot of Christians would like to teach that he got rid of the law. We don't have to follow the law no more because Christ died and he nailed the law to the cross. Well, let me tell you something. Christ is that warning for Israel and Israel only. And Christ out of his own mouth said he did not come to destroy the law, nor what the prophets that came before him has done. So no, all that's still here. So you can't be eating crab, pork, shrimp, and lobster. Your woman cannot be on the stripper pole on OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? You cannot be selling drugs and doing drugs. You cannot be murdering each other for gains or whatever else. We got to come together like the scriptures say. You know what I'm saying? And hath raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David. Who is in the house of his servant David? All of us. Every black, Hispanic, and Native is in their house. We are all Israelites. Every last one of us. You know what I'm saying? But let's drop that. And mind you, if you got any questions, type them on in. I would do my best to answer them. If I can't, hey, I know somebody that can, so just give me a little time and I'll get them answered for you. You know what I'm saying? But where else can I go? Let's go to John 4:22. John 4:22. Let's get there. Not 1 John, not 2 John, not 3 John, just straight up and down John. You know what I'm saying? Now let's start off Let's start off at wow. Let's start off at 21. No, let's start off at 20. All right. John, and I implore all of y'all to read this chapter from beginning to end. John 4 is a heavy chapter, and get some questions on it and bring it to class next time. You know what I'm saying? John 4 and 20. Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. So our fathers worshipped amongst the mountains of Jerusalem. Our fathers worshipped in our homeland. Our fathers, our forefathers. That means it's our culture. This belongs to us. This is our thing. You know what I'm saying? Just like so many so-called black gatekeepers of hip hop, that's how you should feel about worshiping God. You should be a gatekeeper to it. Not everybody else is worshiping God like they think they are. Only we are. You know what I'm saying? Verse 21. Jesus saith unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. So check it out. No matter where you're going, no matter where you at, you're going to be in America, you're going to be in Chicago, you're going to be in Boston, Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan, Southie, you know what I'm saying, Hyde Park. You're going to be all up in there. No matter where you at. You could be here or you could be in Jerusalem. You know what I'm saying? But you're not worshiping the Father. Nor at Jerusalem worship the Father. You're not even worshiping the Father. You don't even know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. Ye worship, you know not what. We know what we worship. See, you are worshiping, but you don't know what you're worshiping. You don't know that the law, statute, the commandment was given unto Israel and Israel only. You don't know that his judgment is for us. We are the only ones getting punished for breaking the law. You don't know that. You're worshiping, but you don't know what you're worshiping. You don't understand how ferocious and mean and terrible a God we serve. You don't know that. You know why you don't know that? Because of our oppressor, because of the Christian church, because of our Christian leaders. You don't know that. Let's continue. Ye worship, ye know not what we know what we worship. For salvation is of the Jews. Hold on. This is in the New Testament, y'all. It says straight up and down, salvation is of the Jews. It's not of everybody. It's not for everybody. And this is in the New Testament. This is what y'all hold on to so tight. Salvation is of the Jews. Not everybody needs saving. Not everybody needs saving. If I was in complete power of this world, doing whatever I free willed wanted, and then there's some entity that comes from your Christian heart that believes we should be equalized. You think I want that entity to exist? I'm in complete power. I'm ruling the world. And then other nations are like, at least we're not them. They don't want to be put on equal footing with us. You think Asians want to be put on equal footing with us? You think Arabs want to be put on equal footing with us? You think Africans want to be put on equal footing with us? You think Caucasians want to be put on equal footing with us? No, they do not. So the salvation that the Christian church is teaching, it's unfathomable. It's not realistic. No other nation wants to be put on equal footing with us slaves. They don't. So what are they going to do? What are they going to do? They're going to straight up and down fight back. And that's all part of World War III. That's all a part of destruction of this place. And that's when our salvation comes across. And with that, I'm going to end the class. You know what I'm saying? I'm Priest and Officer Ricard Ariar, here by the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, straight out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And I say, Shalom.